Hello everyone, welcome to my channel The Cloud Box. This is the next video inside the Databricks playlist, and in this video we are going to learn about how we can use aggregate function using a Pyspark in the Databricks. Okay, so as we are really know like what is the aggregate function. So from SQL we know like there are a few aggregate function like count, sum, average, and so these are the basic aggregate functions we know, right? And so the same aggregate function how we can implement using the PySpark, that is really important because as you know, the whatever things we can do with the SQL, those we can all those we can do in the with the help of PySpark. So we should know how we can implement aggregate function using a PySpark. So as I do not have any data uploaded in the DBFS path or ADLS, so for your convenience, I have a sample data present. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a data frame on the top of using this sample data. Okay. So this is very simple approach. If you do not have any data uploaded, if you are really do not know like where I can find the data, so simply create the random data and just map each data with their particular columns. So as you can see, I have created a simple data, and in that I have filled some information like James, Michael. These are the names. Though these James, Michael, Robert, Maria are mapped with the employee name column. The sales, finance, and marketing are going to map with the department column. The New York, California are going to map with the state column, and this integer value 9,000, sorry, 90,000, 86,000 are going to map with the salary, and the 34, 56, and so on is going to map with the age column. Okay, it is really important when you create a data, just create a schema, and schema you just define the column names and the same column name. Like suppose there are five columns names, so there should be a five corresponding values should also present. Let me run it. Let me run it. It got successful, right? So on the top of that, we need to create a data frame. So I just is going to store all the value into one data frame, that is DF. And you know, like in the Spark, we have something called a Spark object. If you do not know, just watch my previous video or go on Google, search what is a Spark object. So in the Databricks, we really do not require to create a Spark session. But if you are working on a plain Spark, you need to create a Spark session first using app name app dot. So something methods are present, that is spark dot session dot app data app name. You need to give app name, then getter create. So these are the syntax you can go easily find over time. So I'm just using Spark is already created. Okay. There is inbuilt method present at create data frame if we have a sample data. So I'm just going to use that function, and it is a function or a method you can say. So it is start with a small letter, and the new word which is starts, the first letter is capital. Okay, data is one word, then frame is other word. Okay, and now what you can do, you can simply use simple data. So what we need to use, we need to use data is equal to simple data, and schema is equal to schema. Let me put it, schema is equal to schema, and let's say, and okay, just run it. Now you can see our data frame got stored into something called df. Now just see the result of this data frame. If we see the results are coming in the data frame. Now there is one more method called a display. As you can, this is a predefined a method from a Databricks only. It is not going to work in the plain spark. So display is something it's give you a better row and column kind of feel of a data. Okay, so as you can see, our data frame got created. So now our second job is like how to use aggregate function. So mostly there are a few aggregate, that is sum, we know average, right? We know average, we know count, we know mean, we know max. These are few aggregate functions from SQL we know. So the same thing we are going to implement in in the Pyspark. Okay, so let's see. I want to use aggregate function. I want to see the average salary of an employee, the average salary of the employee department wise. Okay, fine. How we can do that? Okay, how we can actually do that? So I have a data frame created, that is df dot. Okay. So the first thing which I'm going to use in the Pyspark, it is important, it is most important, or it is what I can say, it is required. If you are going to use aggregate function, you need to use groupBy. Okay. So first I'm going to use groupBy. GroupBy from SQL, you know, it's going to group the data for particular record and it will have a unique value. Okay, that means it is going to group the data on the department. That is, all the cells have a unique data, all the finance have a unique data. So suppose for the department I have used average. So for each 90,000, I mean for the each cells, it is going to find you an average. So that's for, you can see the sales columns are coming 3 times, finance 4 times. It is going to make only one sales column, and for that sales column it is going to operation. Okay, that is going to return a unique result for each value. Okay, that is a group by. So df dot group by, in the group by I'm just going to put department. Let me copy. Fine. Now I am going to use average. Simply I'm going to use average. Average, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use salary. Okay, and now I'm going to use, so let me run it. Fine, we are good to go. We have seen, like for sales, average salary is this, for finance average salary is this, for marketing average salary is this. Cool. Okay, here is one more thing coming. Okay, now we can see these results. Okay, fine, but something really weird is coming here. That I want average salary not like this, as a proper average salary column here. So how we can actually do that? Before doing that, we need to see another approach how we can actually do in Pyspark, and this is the recommended approach. Let's remove this. This is the first scenario, like we have to find average salary. Suppose there is a requirement, you have to find the total sales as well, you need to find count as well, you need to find whether if you are going to use more than one aggregate functionality on a single data frame, then you cannot use dot avg then dot sum. So this is not going to work. Okay, let me show you practically. Again I'm going to use a sum, and again I'm going to use this. Let me not sum, I'm just going to use count star. Okay, and then dot sum. Let me run it and see whether it is running or not. You can see, right, count one takes one positional argument but two here. So it is not going to work. Let me count a star. Let me, okay, instead of a star, let me give a state, anything. I'm just want to give. It is not going to work. It is not. Okay. So for that reason, what we can do, first we need to implement group by. That is important. That is necessary. Without this aggregate function is not going to work in Python. Okay, now that is one more method of AZZ. In the AZZ, I can use any aggregate function. Right? So similarly, I will use average, and then in average, I'm going to use salary and dots. Let me import it. I need to import it from .sql dot functions import avg. Okay. Now let me run it. Okay, this is a function, so you need to import from the SQL functions. Okay, now you can see these results, and probably these results both are same, right? We do not see any differences, but the differences will come when we have to use multiple group by together. Let me run it. Okay, now I have to define count also. Now you see, right, this proper thing we can use two aggregate function, and this was not the case with this here. Okay, it was getting filled. Our two cases got resolved. Okay, now the third scenario is, hey, I want to use aliases, I want a proper name. Okay, okay, so what we can do, here is a one more method called dot alias, and the alias is for the average salary. I can simply use average salary, and for the count also I can use like dot aliases total count, and let me run this and see whether it is running or not. Fine, we are good to go, right? For this we only need to add aliases, and always remember, if you are adding aliases, just do in this bracket. Do not close this bracket here and then not other, then it is going to fail. Let me see. And it is going to fail. I mean, not going to fail, it's not, yeah, column name is not followable. Okay. So similarly, we can use mean max as well. I hope this video was really helpful for understanding the aggregate function using Pyspark under Databricks. So I'm just going to continue this series for the next video. So if you have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe. And if you have any doubt, just do let me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a wonderful day.